morning. I'm Lane from LoneCone.com, and thanks for checking out this review. You may not have heard of us, Lone Cone, yet, but we're a gear shop in Boise, Idaho, and we have a fun website that we hope you'll check out. And what we strive to do is sell gear that we love, and we love what we sell. So we try to find brands that are really high quality and that will deliver on the promise to help you enjoy the great outdoors, which we're trying to do today here in the mountains north of Boise. And it is a little nippy for early October. Even for October, it's a little nippy, but that's okay. We got a little fire going, and we got the sun peeking out now and then, and some weather rolling in, so that should be fun. What we're going to take a look at today is something actually really special. We're going to take a look at Helle Knives, and it's actually pronounced Helle or Helle in Norwegian. They're a Norwegian knife maker, and they've been making knives in a very distinctive style since 1932. And there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into these. They're handmade still in the same factory, very small company, and churns out an exceptional knife. And you can tell that just the style and what they want from these blades is very much influenced by, I think, their geography, where they live and what they do for a living, and the history of knife making in Scandinavia. And so we're going to take a look at some of their models up close, and you can see a very distinctive style and a very high level of craftsmanship from Helle Knives. So stay tuned. Okay, all right, check out this stump. Oh, this stump has seen some days, and we could have a day. We got weather coming, so this is be good. So let's take a look at some of these Helle knives, and you know, just a couple of things to look at. Oh, many things. It's first of all, the Helle knives are a Scandi grind. And that means, you know, a very strong angle on the edge. And their claim to fame is a triple laminated stainless steel. And I'm still researching what steel it is. I really think it's a Sandvik steel or something. I think they order it from Sandvik because they use Sandvik 12C27 steel in some of their other knives. So that relationship, I think, is traditional. And just everything they do is very traditional. It's very classic. And you can see here, this is a Norwegian field knife, and a gorgeous mirrored finish, razor sharp out of the box, or the tube in this case. Really sharp knives. And so what the triple laminated steel does is there is a center layer of very high carbon steel. It's very hard, and so that steel can take a very fine edge and keep it. But of course, you know, it's as strong as it is, it's more brittle than other steels, and so the overall strength of the knife might be compromised if it was all that type of steel. So what Helle does is it sandwiches the high carbon steel in the middle of a softer stainless steel. And the advantage there is that it protects the blade, it makes the blade overall stronger, more flexible, it can do more work, but maintain that amazing edge and deliver an incredible silver mirror polish here. And this is the Eggen, and the Eggen is a really nice knife made out of, and the handle's made out of curly birch. So that's one of the distinctive things about Helle is the handles are made out of Norwegian woods. You know, I don't know what the curly birch availability is here in the United States. Don't see a lot of it, but you see there's kind of a caramel white, just a very gorgeous textured wood, and it feels great. It really does. These are light knives, working knives. The tang is a rat tail tang, or a pole tang, or a stick tang. You know, it's called different things. It's not a full tang knife. Which is, you know, something in here in the United States where it's kind of a style that is a big deal, you know, it's a full tang knife. But there's a reason for that. So as a Norwegian company, you know, that lives up there really in northern latitudes and where it gets really cold, they don't see the need for full tang knives because the steel gets very cold, and so the full tang will make your hands cold, and they prefer to insulate that. They just prefer to do it. Now we'll talk a little bit more about Helle knives and their styles here later. But there's the Eggen, and as you can see, it's just beautiful blade work. Very nice grind. And the leather sheath is also hand sewn. It's a very distinctive kind of classic old world style, heavy stitching, and in this kind of this dark leather that they're famous for. And so let's take a look at some of the other ones. Here's another model of their knives. This is the Sigmund, and it's a very old style knife. It's one of their original designs, and I think it was redesigned a little bit by the founder of the company recently to kind of bring it up to date, but still a family-owned company, and it just sticks to a design style and a feel and an aesthetic that is beautiful. The handle's made out of beech, darkened oak, and leather. And I encourage you to check out their YouTube channel to see how they make these knives, and you can see them stacking these blocks and layers of the handle material and then sanding that down, polishing that down. It's all done by hand. It's still done by craftsmen on fairly simple, I'm not calling it rudimentary machines, but these are still handmade knives in an old world style. Rat tang there, stick tang, like most of the knives, and the triple laminate steel, indeed. And with the Sigmund, you got to take a look at the sheath. The sheath is amazing, and there's a lot of work here. And I get you a close-up version of it. And take a look at the sheath. I mean, it's just great work here. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know what's not to like. What's not to like about that sheath? I mean, it's great. It's a different style, and you know, I know a lot of knife collectors and knife makers will maybe make their own sheath and put a ferro rod or something in there and do that, and that's great. No problem there at all. But these are really great knives that come right out of the box, ready to go and ready to go to work. So here's the Helle GT, and you can see here now we've got a finger guard. Okay, for those of you who want the leverage, you want the reference point and the feel of that guard. And it's made out of aluminum. It's got a leather inlay here, and then the curly birch. And I wonder out loud, if you can make a hatchet handle out of curly birch. It's gorgeous. It really is. It's probably too soft. Probably won't happen. I'm probably an idiot. That's fine. One can dream. But just a comment on the style of Helle knives and where they're going. If you're familiar with YouTube videos and you watch a lot of them, and I'm guessing if you come to this review, you probably watched several YouTube videos about it, and you know there's this debate about what's the greatest knife for different applications. And in the United States, we're definitely influenced by bushcrafting and the bushcraft phenomenon, which I love. I love the way it's going, and I love the passion behind it, and just getting back to skills and getting back to simple camping and self-reliance is great. But I'm going to go out on a limb and maybe start a debate about Helle knives that they really don't wrap themselves around the axle about becoming a bushcrafting company. It's just not their style. It's not their history. They come from a different part of the world. They use these knives every day. They're made from experience and from the applications that they are familiar with and are traditional to them. So many of the craftsmen at Helle will go home to a small farm at night, literally, and they grind and polish blades all day and then go home and then clean an animal and butcher meat and do the things that they do, and they make knives for those applications, and they're quite beautiful. So it's not a full tang knife, and I wouldn't do a lot of batoning with it. If you want to do that, there's lots of options for you, but a great working knife. This is my personal blade. I own this one. This is the Harding. Also one of their kind of foundational designs. Dark oak, leather, curly birch. You can see it there. I love it. It's just a beautiful knife. It's got a nice little finger guard to it, kind of like the GT. Not as pronounced, smaller. All right, a lot like the Eggen model in terms of size. But a great, just a great field knife. It feels good. I like it. I'm glad I have it. So let's look at some smaller Helle knives. This is the Algonquin with kind of, it's a tiny blade. It's only 105 millimeters. And it's got a dark oak, curly birch, and red leather inlay handle here. And it's small. It's an EDC knife for sure. You can see how it kind of falls into the hand there. And I like it. I think this would be great for carving and, you know, close in detail work. I think that'd be fabulous. And right down to the sheath here, which has a great leather cord on it, leather tongue, and it's meant to be worn around the neck, which is a style for, you know, your EDC knife or your small knife. Wear it around the neck and carry it that way. You don't see it a lot in the United States, but it's, I think it's a traditional Scandinavian way of carrying your smaller knife. Helle also makes 2 folding knives. This is their most popular. It's called the Dokka, and it's, you know, it's a folding knife. It's got the curly birch and a great place for a lanyard or a cord in there, and really a fantastic belt loop sheath here. And you know, when that thing is locked in and extended, that's a beefy knife. That's good stuff. It'll do a lot of work. I just don't think that locking mechanism is going to give way with any amount of force that a human hand can produce. I'm sure someone can correct me on that. Okay, now this is a very special knife, and this is worth checking it out. This is the Viking, and it is different from all the other Helle knives in that it's triple laminate, but it's a high carbon steel. It is, and the heat treatment finish has been left on there. You can see the black on there. This was a commemorative knife, and I think it was designed for a fundraiser, I think I read somewhere, and they loved it so much that they kept it going. And there's your bushcraft knife, or one of the Helle family knives that could be a bushcrafter. I'd like to check it out. This is probably the next knife I will buy. It's just really cool. Comes out of the sheath really greased up. That's the shine you see there. Has a, you know, has an oil on it. They're very serious about the corrosion control on the Helle. Beautiful. Okay, home stretch on the Helle knives. 2 more I want to show you. This is the Hellefisk. That is a fishing knife for cleaning fish. Cork handle, got some rubberized accents there. And this is not triple laminate steel. This is, they use Sandvik 12C27 alloy for some of their blades, and this is one of them. And, you know, check it up, look it up on the internet. It is very high quality steel and does a good job with all its applications. Extremely light, just like, woo, ready to go. And for you batoners and bushcrafters, there's your Lappland. That's something else, all right? The biggest Helle knife for sure. Also 12C27 Sandvik steel. And you could do some batoning with that. It would be an interesting test. I will not. It's too beautiful. All right, if you're going to chop stuff, there are tools for chopping for future review, by the way. And but one thing I want to check out on the Laplander is the amazing sheath. It is amazing, right? Reindeer, Norway, wolves. There's the Ferris wolf, right? And a cord to hang from your belt. Hey, thanks for sticking with us and seeing all these knives. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did checking them out. They're beautiful. So basically, you know, why buy a Helle knife? And well, there's a million reasons. There's functional reasons. There's aesthetic reasons. They are beautiful. But, you know, there's something about this company, I don't think it talks about a lot. It is still a really small company. There's only about 20 people working for Helle in Norway. And, you know, check out their videos. It is not a big company, which, you know, from the American point of view is somewhat, well, it's kind of shocking. I mean, for a company that's been around almost 80 years, just in the United States, you know, that company would probably have several hundred people, probably would have been bought and sold several times, probably have investors, might be owned by a conglomerate. I mean, there's, you know, to have a company with this much reputation and, you know, just a world-class brand, still be 20 people that just go to work and do their craft and go home and take pride in that. I think it says something about the tool, and it says something about the quality behind these knives that is very difficult to find here in the United States. You know, kudos to the Norwegians who have held on to a craft and kept it going and take a lot of pride in what they do. So thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more reviews, and we'll keep them coming.